We're here with Cody, EZPK, Shirley from Curse. They just got done playing against the faculty in the first round of ESEA Invite finals. How'd it go?
Went pretty well, pretty much as I expected. They were a decent team, but not as good as alternate attacks, who we actually dominated in Copenhagen, so it was a little different there. But we didn't really prepare differently for this team. We pretty much just played our game and went our way.
So far, you're the only American team who's still in the upper bracket after the first round of play.
Yeah.
And actually, all the wins of all the American teams have been on Dust and Dust 2. Dust 2, not really that big of a surprise, I guess. It's a map like any other. But how big of an advantage do you think playing the custom maps actually is for American teams?
Not as big as advantage as you guys think. We didn't prepare from as much as same amount as European teams did. I mean, we didn't really prepare for Dust 1. We weren't even ready to play it really. We were hoping they vetoed it, so. It could have went both ways, I guess. It was just a game of skill there. I mean, we didn't really have too many good strats, and we just pretty much played our game and hoped for the best. We don't plan on playing those maps anyway.
Yeah, you guys did pretty well at Copenhagen games. I think you surprised a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely way better than Curse had done at a couple of previous events before that.
Yeah.
How do you think that played in coming here? Obviously, you had a couple of weeks to fix whatever you guys did wrong over there.
Copenhagen we played really well. One thing we did extremely well is adjust to the way Europeans play. In America, they play a lot differently than Europeans do. So, we didn't get much practice against them. We didn't boot camp very long. So it was like, we pretty much had to adjust on the fly, and we got really good as a team at doing that in Europe. So I think that'll help us here a lot more and a little more than other American teams.
How big of an impact do you think Skadoodle had? Because I noticed he played super well in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
So how important do you
think?
Today
or?
In Copenhagen. I didn't see your match today, so I'm not sure how well he played today. But do you think your team's playing style relies a lot on him, or do you think he's just another guy who, when he has a good game, can just put you over the top?
Our team's play style really relies on him and Anger getting a lot of kills. They're our prime players, and we're kind of there to support them. But if he's having an off game and Anger's having an off game, it's up to us to step up. Hopefully he doesn't. He doesn't do it often. He played really good in Copenhagen. I think he surprised a lot of people. His op is just insane, so when he's on, he's on.
So you guys are set to play NIP next in the second round of the upper bracket. Do you have any thoughts on that match? Obviously a big uphill battle coming up.
Yeah, obviously we've watched them all the time because they're always competing in these tournaments and winning them. So we have a general idea of how they play, and we also scrimmed them a few times in Copenhagen. So pretty much just try and prepare like normal. Hopefully adjust to what they're doing and not play scared.
You don't actually plan on watching their demos too much tonight and actually make an anti-stress or anything, though?
Not really. We haven't really planned on it tonight. It was first things first. We had to get past faculty before we prepare for NIP, so I'll talk over with the team and see what they want to do.
One of the most interesting matches coming up tomorrow is Dynamic against Quantic, which I think is, especially for Americans, has to be really interesting. How do you think that one's going to go, since you know both those teams a lot better than most of us?
That one could go both ways. Same thing with us versus Quantic. We know each other so well, so do they. I think Dynamic played better today than Quantic did for sure. So I'm going to say Dynamic wins it, but it could go both ways. Like I said, you never know. They could just anti-strat each other, what could happen. But right now, Dynamic looks like the better team.
So looking ahead at the bracket, if we assume you lose against NIP, then I think you're going to play the winner of Flaming and in Faculty. Okay. Again, I think in the lower bracket. And then after that, you would play the winner of Dynamic against Quantic versus ESC, I think, if they lose against Very Games. Right. So just looking at that bracket, how do you think you're going to do against all those teams? Basically, how do you think you'll fare against all the other teams except maybe Very Games or NIP?
I think our chances are really good. The way I came into this tournament is, we lost to Very Games at Copenhagen, but I felt like we could have beat them if we did different stuff. We kind of just got ahead of ourselves and didn't play our game on Dust 2 when we played them. So I think we're just as good as them when everyone's on. When Skadoodle's on, Anger's on, when everyone's on, we're just as good, in my opinion. And, I think we can beat Flaming and Faculty, and hopefully we can compete with the elite teams, Very Games and NIP, but I think against every other team we have a pretty good chance.
So you would think you have a pretty good chance of breaking top 4, possibly top 3 if you just have a good game against the other Americans?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, good luck tomorrow. Thanks for the interview.
Thanks, man. Yep.